Okay, I'm back. So I did a funny, and I showed some stuff I shouldn't have ever shown or even had pulled up on my computer while I was streaming. And so I had to kill the stream and immediately delete them. So, um, it's a good thing nobody watched for the first like half hour or whatever. And the progress of that is gone. It's purged. I don't want people knowing what I showed. I did not want to dox myself. Um, but anyway, in the like half hour or whatever that I was going, I didn't do much. I cut this out. I added some of this. I've got the reference open on a second monitor. Um, and I've got opened up so that you guys can see that on here. Um, sorry. I don't think anyone's following me working on this too much. I just wanted to document it. So, uh, fun. Anyway, I'm going back to this. Uh, I'm trying to get the power supply board going. Once that's done, or to the same point of completion as the normal motherboard, probably gonna do a very basic model of a hard drive and disk drive, and call the Xbox done. Um, and then from that point on, I have two different things I want to do with it. And I'm not quite sure which one I want to do, because neither one of them is going to be the easiest for me. What's that? Sorry, I've got my Hobbit cat. Will not stop eating, and if it's not eating at all times, he's bitching at me because I am not giving him more food. Money is not not tight, but like I don't have money to be giving him way too much food and then pay for the hospital or not hospital bills, but vet bills for taking him. So no thanks. He could eat the normal amount of food and maybe not be such a fat cat. Love my cat. If it doesn't seem like I do, that's just because he's been getting on my nerves for like the last week and scratching my walls. Um, yeah, wonderful stuff. Sorry if you can hear any munching. I'm eating Tic Tacs. It's also still waiting for my buddy to come back. Don't know when that's gonna happen. But anyway, the two projects that I can start after doing the OG Xbox model and getting that finished, because like it's not done, but I could just turn that on, and what do you know? It's done. So it's not done, but it's pretty damn close. It's just the inside that's really getting um, work done right now, and that's this part that does not really need to be done at all. Um, so yeah, um, my thoughts for what I could make next after this. I can stay on this project and start an even bigger model that would be probably a little hard to work on. Just gonna go out on a limb. Let's see. Yeah, I might be able to do it in one model. It's not one that I'd have to go super... I'd have to get detailed with it, but it would be... Because I'd also be making another very round square. Because I'd model out a CRT to go with this thing. And if I do a CRT, I'm gonna make the rounded screen and all of that, and I'm gonna try to if I have to, I will go the super janky method that is very lazy to go inside it, and I will grab um a screenshot of like Halo CE's menu in a 4x3 like this, and then convert it to voxels. Here, let's see. How would I make it work? Download the image. Yeah. And then voxelizer. I used to use this site before I learned how to actually just model. Let's say we probably want to make it 200. It's like a good, yeah, well, no, I'd probably want to make it 176, 175, something like that. Uh, and then let's go over here. Downloads. Drop that picture in there. Nope. Open file. Picture. The problem with doing this, like, yeah, it works. That is a voxel model with Halo's menu. And it's super janky, but it looks like it, and you can tell what that is. And I can work with that. That's 175 by 132. That would probably be... Okay, that'd be a good aspect, or a good way to set the aspect ratio for it. Problem is, this uses every single spot on the palette here for just this one model because it tries to replicate the picture the way that an actual picture would be. Because if I just crank the slider up here, well, now it's just the picture. It's just the picture as the picture's resolution spat out into a voxel model. Maybe slightly more compressed picture, but then you can go as far as 4096 and the computer will hate me. I always hated moving models around. Nope, doesn't like that. um, you get to the point where, like, if it's a picture, you can crank it up to above the actual picture's resolution, and that also kind of breaks things a little bit. But yeah, so my thought is I can do something like that. I'm gonna grab a picture of the menu, even if I have to take a screenshot of it myself, and I'll just paste it behind the screen on this. Um, or something like that, and I'll make a CRT. Um, or may save my model here, and let's just delete that and save again. Give me a second. I'm gonna hide my screen real quick. That's the wrong screen. I'm gonna hide my screen real quick. and turn it back on. I can always go back to one of the other projects I've started, like, say, my Halo one that I was working on for the longest time. This thing I never finished, but I also did finish it, and, like, it started off as I modeled out Master Chief. That was all this was going to be. I modeled the Chief out, and I was going to make him a model for Teardown's character, because you could make custom characters in that game by just modeling it out and then pasting it in as the same model file, and then or as a new model file, and just making sure everything's tagged correctly in the editor, and then you'd have a new one. Problem is, it's to scale, and I couldn't make a Master Chief model that looked good enough at the scale of the stock character. So it just turned into me making a Master Chief, and after I had Master Chief, it was sort of like, well, what now? So I made a little hallway for it. I just had one segment of hallway, and then I pasted out a couple, and I put a door there, and then I turned around, and then went on like the 2-week adventure of trying to model out a generic silent cartographer model. Not silent cartographer, Truth and Reconciliation model. Sorry, I watched the trailer for Halo Campaign Evolved that they dropped like an hour or two ago, so that's why I'm thinking of silent cartographer. And I could work on something like this. Like I could try building more of this model and going into the flood infected section of it, because I modeled out an infection form. I made him sort of translucent green like or like they were in CE. And I changed all the lighting around, and the textures are actually different colors. That's why you can see it goes from like sort of a dark, oh no, you can't really. Oh yeah, it goes from like a dark purple to just a green right there. It's just because the floors also in the hallway here, you can see the color of those changes. It's not exactly the most subtle thing, and I really wish I could have done that. I probably should spend more time on it and just make it subtle. But it looks right. Oh yeah, I just pasted it over and lined it up with the other one that was there. But it looks right in the lighting down here. Looks like it would be the other one. So there is that. Now I'm still proud of the way this came out. It's just a carbon copy of what was up here, but with the colors tuned to match and the lighting done. I can. The other thing is me. I I really I'm conflicted on how I feel about this. That's the gameplay, not trailer, but yeah, here. Graphics wise, I like the way it looks. I think it looks better than Infinite, but it's in Unreal Engine, so it kind of does. Let me just turn the audio off so I don't get copyright claimed for it. I think this looks really cool, and I'd like to model something out from CE or from one of these. You know, use my Master Chief model, throw it in, model out some, like, I don't know, part of the map of Silent Cartographer or something, or one of the Forerunner structures. The problem that I have with that is the massive scale that you have with all of this. You know, it's not super tiny. And if you go into my model, here, let's see, what was the other one I had that was Halo themed? This was the Master Chief model I had. This is what I started on. I tried to make the, I was going to try to make the light bridge from Halo CE. And I spent time actually modeling out the light bridge itself. Got somewhere where I thought it looked pretty good. I had to do some weird janky shit to make it look right in this editor, because you can't have like a holographic piece moving that's kind of lit up. So instead I have this all clear glass with two big strips lighting it up on the edge. And then inside I have metallic, well, I guess they're not metallic, but I have these beams that are lit up too, and I can't tell if they're lit up or if they are metallic and being lit. I think they're just metallic, and yeah, they're being lit up by the white bars here. And when viewed through the glass, at some angles it's very shallow and like sort of scan line looking, like how it was in CE, and from straight up it's a bit more direct, unfortunately. But you're never supposed to look straight down and see it. The problem I ran into with that, sparse geometry is turned on. That's the build plate and how much you can fill it. That bridge is not nearly long enough. It's not nearly big. Oh, okay. Maybe it's a little smaller than it should be, but it's not big enough. And that's where we're at. That's the maximum you can fill. You can go up. You can't go outward from there. And the problem is, I need more. I need to go upward more. If I wanted to build the bars that went over at this scale, they'd still come out to here on each side. And so it's like, yeah, that doesn't work. And I had to hollow it out because sparse geometry is wonky, and I didn't cut it out so it wasn't trying to render as much. So just a smaller volume, I guess. But that's the problem. And so if I want to do that, or do something like this with my Master Chief model, which I've got here for reference, I have a very trimmed down version of my assault rifle. I did just model an assault rifle years ago, but it's probably the size of Master Chief in resolution, so no, it's not getting used with this. Unless I manage to get this into like a game of something or something where I can scale down the voxel models to work with it, or scale them up. Because like I could throw this in Unreal or something, and that would fix that problem. So yeah, I don't know I want to do that either. I'd like it all to kind of look good. This I don't mind like twisting and rotating voxels in something like this. Instead of just animating each pose, I don't mind using a custom thing and sort of just twisting it all, because like I broke down the model, so oops, let's see. The shoulder has its own ball there, but then there's still a ball coming out so that it could blend in. And then this is its own piece, and then its hand is its own piece, and then the torso is split into a couple pieces. And the neck's a piece, and the helmet's a piece. And then I think it's... I'm not the biggest fan of my texturing here, or my material work on this. But it's basic materials, and the color's probably a little off. And that's with blue lighting, it looks even more green. And then this was a very basic model. It's just straight up, it's the model from Halo CE thrown into that website and voxelized, and then I used it just for reference. Actually, I used this because it was originally going to be a model for a mod I was doing for Teardown. I started off, I modeled out a bunch of Halo weapons, made a pack. I got And I actually modeled those out. Some of them were converts that were then like completely remodeled using the convert as reference or footstep. But like the Warthog and my Blood Gulch map were just straight up converts from the Vox or from the 3D model into a Vox file, and then I started texturing them and doing a bunch of work and making them destructible. And then it broke, or they released an update that disabled collision for scaled objects, which meant the Warthog and my Warthog didn't work anymore, and that my map didn't work anymore, and you didn't have collision in either of them. And so I just completely got rid of them. Dunzo, no more. Um, and so yeah, I never finished work on that. But like I've got this. I just dragged that model in here to try to see. It's actually the right scale, so like I probably wouldn't have ended up modeling it out. I probably would have just thrown the convert in and then started modeling off of the convert. Um, like you can tell my texturing is not right. Material work might have gone into it. Okay, I don't think I ever did materials for the turret and all that, but like the glass should should be good. Yeah, you can see through it. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Um, or I can just completely ditch Halo, and I could do. Uh, I could completely ditch my Xbox models and my Halo models, and I could go into a Star Wars model like my Darksaber, or the old Darksaber that I actually like the model for more. I could go to working on right. I started working on a little bit of this before the movie, but I could go to Tron again. I had some stuff going with this when I was trying to work on it. I'm happy with my light cycle, less so the light trail, but you know that's getting there. Forgot I set the sky on, and I don't want that for this version. Um, not the happiest with my trail for that, but yeah, it is what it is. I could go. I go back to my Vorticell model that I was working on. That needs sparse geometry for you to even think of seeing it. Come on, turn that on. Give it a second. It's slow. Yeah, there we go. That's this is one that I've been working on. Um, I also kind of abandoned this, but I'm pretty happy with where I got for what I was working on, and it also fills out a. It's also going to be a bit lacking in the build plate. It fills out most of that with where it's at, and this is supposed to. This is supposed to be a really long hallway, or not hallway, but like a alleyway. And so if I wanted to make that work, I think I'd have to start another wall over here, and then have them both curve off this way back here. And that would be easy enough to do. I just probably grab this panel, expand the width, and then rotate it a little, or use the rotate modifier with just a custom angle, and do it that way. and then just everything that you can't see, it doesn't get modeled. That would probably work. I'd also probably maybe have to angle this alleyway in a little bit and then move them out. But so that, like, this was meant to be a project I'd work on with my buddy after the artist that originally made this died. So we were gonna model this out, and then I started, and then he disappeared for like 8 months, and I gave up on it after a while. Um, I could keep trying to model out my car, but you might be able to tell. Um, my work on my car's taillight is not going so hot. Just eyeballing it, the way I've done everything else is not going great. So I don't think I'm gonna finish that model ever. I think I might eventually like try to tackle a different part of the car and use that for reference with the rest, or maybe find a 3D model and convert that and then just deal with it because I don't want to put the time into modeling out my car from scratch. I would not mind taking a 3D model of it that was like scanned from it and then converting that. Here's the warthog, and proof that it's a convert, just because the textures from the actual thing, I erased that and tried to texture it myself instead of using all the basic ones. Render it out. The glass, I forgot, is broken because or it's broken right this second. Let me just because in teardown transparency is flipped. Do a little bit of that. Want a little bit of blue tint, but I want it to be transparent to the point where you can see it. Or see through it. Fuck it, I'll make it transparent so you can see through it like how it should be. It could be worse. Could be a lot worse, but it's cheap and I don't deserve any credit for this because I didn't model it out at all. I will say I do kind of like the color of that though. I think that's more like the Platinum Anniversary color from Infinite's cores. But yeah, yeah. Here's one I did model out. It's basic and kind of shitty, and yeah, but it worked. You can tell how much older of a version of Magic of Voxel it is because it still has this ground. Like there's no checkerboarding on the model itself, but it does go on the ground. Um, this is one that I worked on again for teardown, so it was a convert of the model, and then I erased the treads and filled the tread in with wheels, and then modeled out a little guy for inside there. So that's why the model is uh, jankier than all hell's, because it had to fit in there and then still be, compact, but you can still tell what it is. So that's uh, technically that is Church from Red versus Blue, but he never got in the tank and drove it in in CE when the tank was a thing. So um, that would be my character, which I use the same colors as Church in the tank because yeah, I'm very original. Or I can finish Getting back to the thing I'm talking about anyway. I can finish work on this. Wrong HDR thing. I don't have the old one anymore. Shit. Yeah, that's fucking great. I don't have my HDR anymore. The custom one that, fucking wonderful. I'm gonna kill my video for a second and go see if I can find that file sitting on my desktop somewhere, because, that is very annoying. Um, I thought I moved everything over, but evidently I did not. Uh, hmm. That's the new one. That's one from a long time ago, or not. Magic models. Ooh, that's a file I want to keep. Both of those, actually, all three of those are gonna get kept. Copy. File location. Fox. Those are both models I miss. I wish I still had my sniper model that I made for Halo. I don't know if I do. Uh, let's see, is that what the rifle model is? Nope, that's still the DMR. Fuck. That's unfortunate too, because I really loved my sniper rifle model, and I don't have any pictures of it anymore to make it again. I don't think. Yeah, I made that in 2021. Maybe I have it. I don't think I was still in that server, but maybe it's backed up to my server from in my teardown modding days. Sorry, you guys are gonna be a little blind for a moment. I'll probably just delete this stream again. Come on, where is it? I would just show what I'm looking for in here, but I don't really want to leak the DMs of a server that hasn't existed since probably 2020. Forgot my buddy made those models. Those were fucking amazing. Yeah, I don't think I have that file anymore, which is very unfortunate because I really like it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't have that anymore, unfortunately. So, I think that's, I'm going to be the end of that in a second. Let's turn this back on. There you go. You can see that. I'm just gonna do one more quick search off the screen. Please tell me I still have. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream because, my buddy is back on. So.